live? Are we on? Oh, we are. Hey, all right. And it usually takes a little longer to go live, but you know, very very good evening to everybody out there. It is yours truly, the Warrior Junior, the one that fights for you. Not to be confused with the attorney, with a Larry Parker guy. You know, the attorney goes, "I we fight for you." Yeah, you pay an attorney $500 an hour. I bet he fucking fights pretty damn hard. He wants that big case, that big settlement, so they can get, you know, 40% or whatever the fuck they charge. Jesus. If I would have been smart, I would have went right to law school. But I'm since it's so easy to say if I was, if I was smart. I mean, I talk about, I'm not far from 50 years old, and I didn't, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have what, that's not, I was not interested in that. I was a baseball. That was my dream, and I always had a passing interest. I always had interest in fitness, which led to bodybuilding. But of course, to be a professional bodybuilder, these guys are, I don't give a fuck. Look at the classic Olympia. These guys are fucking huge. They're on a ton of shit, and they're young, and I wasn't willing to do that. And it's hard because I grew up a huge, big time wrestling, professional wrestling fan. And, in the 80s and stuff. Oh my God, they're just incredible. I remember 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago, I met The Undertaker as a rookie. Like when he just came in, when DiBiase brought him in, I met him. It was OG, like 1990, 91. But I was a tour, I was like 17 years old, maybe not even, just about turning 17. And I was like 110 pounds, like literally, if that. I was really small, I remember how big these guys were. I was like, God, like when you're a kid, 17 is still, it's not an adult, so it's close, but I was really small, I was always really small. Small is relative, right? I in the gym. Wow, it's kind of funny because he has like this turtle backpack that he wears. The dude is like, if he's 5'3", I'd be surprised. He's real small. It's kind of cool. He has that cool backpack. It's like a turtle shell, and he wears it in the gym. And I don't talk to anybody, but if I were to see it, it's got to be really hard. That guy must have gotten. Oh my God, can you imagine like the put downs and with that guy? Some of these people, they're just traumatized. They got in the building because they're so traumatized when they were young. Like listen, I had my share of common shit too. So luckily, I had a couple of good friends that watched my back. So and then in high school, I got into baseball, so I was on a baseball team. And once they give you the hat, the cap, into major league organizations, we're talking 1990. We won the city championship at Dodger Stadium the first time in 46 years. And it took me, literally, in the span of 3 years of going to high school, I could sum it up real fast. I basically worked in with the team, with the JV team every day. In the last game of the season, I got to suit up in 10th grade. Then I played summer ball, where I got to play. 11th grade basically was a repeat. I practiced. Meanwhile, the varsity team won the city championship at Dodger Stadium. That was a huge thing. Then that summer, I played American Legion ball with a lot of the returnees. And then the senior year, Cal Badron came up to me and he said, "You got a choice. You can either come up play for me or start JV." And I said, "I'm coming up and playing for you." Started varsity, returning city champions. A lot of guys returned, and we won our division. And we went right to the playoffs, and we were going for back to back, and the second round we lost to Narbonne High School. I was not a standout. I wore glasses. I could hit like in a batting cage, but live pitching for some reason I just couldn't hit. Um, Field, you're not, you're kind of limited to what you can do. Arm for an infielder, outfielder, is just a very, you know, I had a lot of heart, but just all the time. So, but I was not a standout. Now, on the team that I was on, we had three or four guys that were drafted as well. None of them made it. One guy, just because you're drafted, that like, especially in the very high rounds, um, it means like you're invited to like a summer league where they take a look at all the top prospects. And there's think about how many high schools are, right? Recruited by what? It doesn't matter. Um, you're basically, funneling, whittling it down to the guys. Okay, well, but these handful of guys will send them to like A ball, it's instructional league, the lowest level, rookie ball or whatever. So, there's a guy drafted, and they'll take a look, and then you're done. You're not that as leverage to go play double A, like independent ball. There's one guy, Bert Bull. I remember he played a little bit of independent ball, and he didn't shine. He was done. The star pitcher Danny Choi was really the whole thing. He was the one. We had a good outfielder. I remember like Charles Johnson. I think he went to go play. And he didn't. No, he also didn't make it. But Danny Choi, what happened? He wound up getting $1 million to go play in Korea, and he did not shine. And he came back here. I think he put up numbers with Cal State, Long Beach State. That was it. I think he put up the numbers with Long Beach State first. He got the million. I forget the order of it, but I think the A's took a look at him. He just got whittled out of the professional baseball process. Look, you're basically either pushed up or pushed out, and he was kind of pushed up. Get $1 million back in 1990. Okay, it's not bad to go play pro ball in Korea. So it just goes to show you the guy was no joke. I remember catching him, just playing catch with him. I mean, the guy could throw low to mid 90. I was scared to play catch with the guy. He could throw that hard. He was just fucking around, just warming up. I was scared, okay? But what it did was help my confidence. So, after I got out of Fairfax, it was a very hard. I didn't know what to do. I knew I wanted to keep playing, but I didn't have a plan, and that's a big problem. You don't have a fucking plan. I basically worked my way up to the varsity team, and then it was over. Um, I tried out with all these community college teams, Santa Monica, Corsairs. I remember the LACC. I didn't have a car, so driving. They don't have a field on campus. Um, I know I've repeated this story a million times, but I'm not gonna go all the way to the end. Um, but I remember with LA Valley College in '91, they cut me, and then I came back 2 years later, and they cut me again, and I go, I'm not leaving. And the coach CJ Chris Johnson, he goes, I think he's still there. He's like assistant coach now, but he was there. This is, we're talking, my God, 28 years ago. I told him I was not leaving, and he was like, I think it was a combination of shocked and irate at the same time. He goes, then you're gonna you're gonna work your ass off and be a addition to this team. And I was, to where I was like redshirting, and I remember I started throwing too. Like I was, in like preseason, I was working my way on the team. And I don't know what happened in '94. My grandfather died. Like my grandparents raised me because my dad died when I was a kid. And a lot of the Northridge or just whatever. So even though I was working my way up, I felt like, baseball, there was nowhere, like it wasn't going to happen. Again, I had the heart and everything, but I didn't have and I just, I got sick of, this ain't going anywhere, and the baseball thing. I'm not one of those guys usually to kind of like walk away from something, but I did. And, yeah, that was like in 94. In the mid to late 90s, I was getting into other things. I was getting into dancing. That was the thing. I was getting into dancing, pool. I thought like so. I was getting into golf actually for a little while, believe it or not, because I had one hell of a drive. Because I was pretty strong from playing baseball. The ball doesn't move, right? It's easy to hit if you're a baseball player. For me, for some reason, but I let that go. I stayed with the dancing and I would compete in some amateur contests and really get into street dance. Really into that. Didn't know where to go with that though. I really I mentioned I got on television. It kind of picked up in the late '90s for me. Um, Creeped back because I started hearing about, well, wait, they have these minor league independent teams. You don't have to be drafted. So even at like 30, 31 years old, I was like, I could still fucking play. I could dance, I could run. So I gave it a last go. Out with lots of teams, independent teams on the West Coast, the Sonoma County Crushers, Scottsdale Valley Vipers, Blackjacks. I tried out with all these teams, and I remember I hit a ball in Reno, batting practice. Fuck, hit it out dead center, like 400 feet. I wanted to see. Sorry, I had some spaghettis or something lodged in my teeth. Um, where that ball landed, but I hit the ball so far, they were pitching me another ball, like while the other ball was still going. I remember in Sonoma County a week after I pulled my hamstring. It was fucking hurt as fuck. I wanted to swing in the batting cage and I just couldn't. I couldn't. I mean, I literally they had to, you know, fuck. I wasn't warmed up for the run. They had us run 40s and I got in the batting cage. Yeah, I pulled my hamstring before like I got in there. And it was like, imagine that. Like your dream is, you want to show off in the batting cage, how much power you have, go all the way up there. And then comes your chance and you're not able to fucking execute. It was the worst fucking thing. They offered me a ground screw job in Sonoma County. My uncle said, I'm not going to pay for you to live up there to cut grass. Like maybe I should have stayed because I could have, I could have worked out with the team. I could work my way into the team. I know that's how I do it. I'm able to work my way in, like that was around 2000. Yeah, I think it was around 2000. I was about 27. Of course, hindsight's always 2020, though. It's hold on a second. I don't like with me here. We'll be right back. Give me a second. Like in the moment, like how important something is to you, and then like when it's over and time goes by, and then you start saying to yourself, "Fuck." Let me tell you something. If it's that important to you, I don't know how powerful, like what the most powerful kind of words I could say, but I will tell you a story of some very relative that happened to my friend. My friend, he called me today. My friend Chris wasn't feeling too good. I don't know. He had some like chest pains, like almost 60. So I asked him, I said, "You eat? Like, what did you eat?" Basically you can try to figure out what's going on. It's a you know inspiration for me. Um, those Rocky movies. It's speechless. I can't even tell you. I'm not really a boxing fan, but those those movies hit me to the core. Forget about Creed and everything. I remember I saw Rocky, the last Rocky movie, Rocky Six, Rocky Balboa. I saw it in theater, Chinese theater. But anyway, like I wish I could have pitched my script to Stallone, and told I got like the Rocky of dancing right here. I've got a fucking story that I wrote. The script needs a little modification because but it's it's there. I know I got 100 pages, but it doesn't matter. A lot of I had a kind of a problem with the lead in, the how, but the in the script, this I could sum it up real quick, and it's got your antagonist, protagonist. It's got what the guy's got to go up against at the end. It's very simple story, just like packaged professionally and really thought out, like better, but it's not a big deal. It's like down, and he's a professor. He's a there's people in his department who are also street dancers. They're from his time, a little older, and the dude basically he got robbed on like the Star Search type show back in like the early '80s, where they pushed basically Shabadoo, like he was supposed to be the next like John Travolta or something. So he won the contest. He wound up winning $100,000, and I got second place. I got nothing. So what winds up happening is Shabadoo, he winds up being like part of the adjunct of another teacher in the in the department. I wrote this with him, to be part of this while he was alive. Okay, he passed away like 6 months ago. That's and then I had ideas of like Boogaloo Shrimp being like where you would have the most popular street kids dancers of today, like Ditto, Pop and John, the Les Twins. They would be take this class to learn, and it opens up. The whole story opens up. And then I'm supposed to, Shabadoo felt bad that that he won the contest and I didn't, and he knows I still can practice and I could still get down. So basically, it's like, I'm, gets somehow I wind up getting, there's, people putting on the biggest World Street Dance Championships. They're looking to kind of change things up because they're used to like the Jabberwockies winning, the Les Twins winning or whatever like that. It's like a big deal. Like if you look up the Jess debut dance contest in France, it's done in an arena. It's not like here. It's not a little nothing. It's a big fucking deal over there. So I had the fucking idea to make something similar like that here, and the whole thing would be me, like a dude that could still do it. Now the thing was, I was supposed to be teamed up with somebody to go up against, like a big group like either Jabba Les Twins probably or something like that. And then you'd have there would be like the three judges. I had it's an incredible fucking thing, and the way that the characters develop and the woman interest, it's just it's really hard. I could explain it real. I can really explain it simply, you know, just like Rocky. It's a dude that could still do it. It's an incredible fucking thing. Nothing has been done like it. Nothing's even close. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And nobody would fucking listen to me about it. It's just, but it doesn't matter what you like and what you think, because it doesn't matter if something's not bankable. You might have all the passion in the world for something, and people might even clap for you. Say, "Wow, you're today at the Piggy. You're great. You're a good dancer and everything." It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It costs money to make a fucking movie. It costs fucking money. This is business, and it doesn't matter. Breaking one, breaking two. We call it breaking three. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't mean it's gonna make money. That doesn't mean anybody's going to listen to me or anybody's going to listen to you or whatever. You have to understand, those movies got made for a fucking reason because it was so popular during the time. Saturday Night Fever, because of the time. This is not that anymore. And they say, well, like they'll remember that time. If you make, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to put up all the money. Well, they say, oh, crowdsource it, crowdfund it. I don't know. I don't know. It's all I know is I'm somebody that was very passionate as a street dancer. I wrote a very beautiful story. I had an open mind to change up the script, modify. But look, you think you're going to pitch to Jennifer Lopez? You think you're going to pitch to fucking Stallone? You think you're going to pitch to any Canon Films? I tried to reach out to all these people. Nobody would fucking listen to me. Nobody would get back to me. So I said, keep trying, and that's all I could fucking do. But it's a pipe dream, dude. It's a fucking pipe dream is what I'm doing. The script is on my fucking desk. It sits there. I look at it every day. I don't read it every day, but I know it's there. I registered it with the WGA. So you know what? At least if something gets made and it's along the lines of what I've written, I've got a case. So it's not just writing the fucking script, it's protecting it. So I did that. I fucking walked into the WGA. I fucking paid $20. I go, this is my paper script. Protect this fucker because that's my life. That's like what I dream about. That's one of my goals, to make that movie somehow. But you know what? More than likely, it will never happen. But you know what? It's a dream. It's a fun story too. It's like Rocky, but it's not like Rocky. It's my version. It's my version of the Rocky of dancing, but it's nothing like Rocky. It doesn't have a Paulie. It doesn't have an Adrian like a Shia. It's the opposite. The woman that is the love interest used to be a pop star, like an arrogant kind of a Paula Abdul type, Jennifer Lopez type, Britney Spears type. That's older. That was like a Tony Basil type. It's a very unique dancer. She sees herself in him. And he's a very combative when it comes to dancing. The dialogue explains it all. How I thought things out. Judges and to make a and he puts up a hell of a fucking contest because his dance partner, like, he winds up, for some, he couldn't compete, at the end. And that's what gives the story the real twist that it's him against he's up against the best, just like the Apollo Creed. He didn't win, and that's what it is. But it's not about that, it's about him being able to hold his own. So that's why I wrote it. I wrote this incredible fucking story. Like, dancers, you don't understand. Dancers, like, they work the hardest and make nothing. And that's what happens to this guy. His whole life, he got nothing. And then at the very end of the fucking, he's going to tell you what that is. I'm not going to give it away because that's the beauty of what I wrote. It's not like Rocky. It's not like Rocky. It's an inspirational fucking story. I fucking wrote a beautiful story. But me, because it is me. There's nobody that can fucking. There's nobody that can take somebody 47 years old. I am. It's me. Fucking me, dude. Even though I'm not a professor of history or dance appreciation, but I can be. I can play the fucking guy. It doesn't matter. Yep. I know you could tell my passion about it. Talk about. That's enough of that for now. We'll see. First, yeah, that piggy play. For a Saturday night, it fucking sucks. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I was like, let me just get out of the fucking house so I don't think about doctoral work for in a couple hours. I one assignment that needs to be in by tomorrow, and it's coming together. It'll be done. I always say when you're in something that you don't feel, passionate about, and you're lacking motivation, take it back for a minute. Take a step back for a minute, like I did, and go out for a couple hours. Hours. I said take 15 minutes. Go for a 15-minute whatever. Get your mind is. I have a piece of paper. I have a copy of the requirements for the degree, and I'll stare at it for some. I know it's the piece. It says what you need the classes for the degree. scheme of things, then I need to fucking do this. I need to things. And then so the assignments, whatever, you I know they're due, and then you're like, but you know what? I get that assignment in by Sunday night, and then Monday I don't even think about school. That's when I take a day off. I don't have to think about it because I don't have anything due till mid of next week. It comes in fast, it adds up fast. So I that's how I do it. Like I power out work, I take a break, I power it all out, stay with it over the long term. So that's all I'm going to say about that. One in the gym, and then one on the way home with a chick. I haven't been talking about women a lot lately because there's not much to talk about. There's no success or anything. Um, but there's an attempt that happened on the way home from the gym. Let me share the gym story first, and I listened to like Mike Mentzer's high workout thing. My gym closed at 8:47, warm up, and so I was saying to myself on the way up there, I was thinking, I did legs, on Friday, and I was like, my legs weren't really sore, so I was saying, I was like upper body, supposed to be upper body, like either tris and forearms or back and lats. So I said, let me do that high intensity. Let's go for that Mike Menser. Let me apply that to my hour. So I did the one arm dumbbell thing, and I said if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna fucking lift, go as heavy as I can when I work my way up all the way. And I told the dumbbells go to 120 pounds. Um, so I remember I did some quad extensions. I go, all right, let's go. I'm thinking, all right, well, if I'm gonna go up to one, now I've never exceeded 100. So they have 105s, 110s, 115s, and 120s. I think they have one positive. I know they have 110s, 120s, and 105. I might have the 115. I'm not sure. Um, so I'm like thinking to myself, fuck, okay, what do I start with? Like if I'm gonna go to 120s, I got to start with 60s. I go, fuck, I usually don't. I usually 50, but not. And I said, all right, you know what? I'll go 55 warm up. And I was fine. I was fine with that. So, in my mind, I was saying to myself, "There's no way I'm going to get to 120, but I'm going to get damn near close." So I went 55, and I was like, "Okay." I was looking for the 65s. They were gone, and I said, "Okay, that's okay because you don't want to burn out." Remember, I talked about this. You want to get warmed up as basically as that's well, fast 70, and I go, "That's all right." So I went 55, 70, then I went 80, then I went 90. And I was like, all right, okay. So then after four, I was like, fuck, So I said, let's go 100, and I did 100, right? And I said, once I got the hardest, as I mentioned, is getting the fucking dumbbell on your shoulder. Now I'll put on like a towel sometimes because a dumbbell, it's a middle part. It fucking eats into your shoulder sometimes. Um, if it's not resting properly, or it seems to put some pressure on back of your neck if you can't get it perfectly. Look, I'm not looking for comfortable. I'm looking for manageable. So I got that. I did 100 on both sides. The left side is always the hardest because my left arm is weaker than my right. So picking up the dumbbell, I try to use as much my right hand to leverage it up. Get it on the shoulder, I'm good. I mean, that's a railing with one arm and then squat up and down 20 times. Or it's not the exercise is not difficult because it's like it's like you're squatting 100 pounds. I mean, it's not that much. It's the balance, holding the fucking weight there, getting it up. It's like that's the real trick. So I got the 100 up fairly, I was manageable. I got up there and I said, all right, this is where we push forward. So I took the 110 dumbbell out, and immediately I realized that it has a thicker handle, I guess, to support the weight. Um, so I moved it to where I'm going to do my exercise. I get it there, and I was like, well, it looks so much bigger than 100. It's only 10 pounds more, but it's like, I guess, it doesn't matter. It's exponential. Like I guess 10. Let's fucking see if we can crank it out. And I'm looking at it on the ground, and I'm saying, okay, I got to get this fucking thing up. And I couldn't get it up. I got it off the ground. I got it into my hand, but let me give you a visual so you can get an idea here. So again, I'm trying to get here, right? I'm trying to get the weight from the ground to this point. Let's see if we can get it to this point to go right here, right? So my hand's underneath, get it here. Well, I got it like right here, and I just couldn't get it from this point up on my shoulder. It was just too heavy. It was too heavy. So I just put it down. I tried. I couldn't get it up. I didn't feel shame. I didn't feel. I remember before I lifted it, I said, you know what? I said before I lifted it, I said I'd rather die than not try. I said that, and there's nobody really around where I could hear me say that, but you know, already like yeah, I was kind of spent. I knew I couldn't. I was asking a lot, but I said fucking go for it, right? And I couldn't get it on my shoulder. I said if I could get that fucking weight on my shoulder, I knew I could do it. Um, Now on the left side, it would have been hard as hell because I barely got the 100 up there. Um, but again, once it's up there, I'm good. Like then it's like just just squatting. Like I don't feel it. I mean, but you don't like it's not like squatting. It's not like the weight of the real squats with a 45-pound bar on your back. The weights on there. But it's an interesting exercise because I feel like I get a lot of result, like a lot of pressure. It puts a lot of pressure in your upper thighs and your buttocks and your upper your legs. Like without putting this Platts was talking about just focus on the reps, but I was like, want to see if I can move. What else can I do? So I like to push the sled sometimes, and the sled, there's two ways you can kind of grip this thing. You can push it, in front of you, really lets your legs do the work. So I was doing a couple, like I would increase the weight on there, and what happens is it runs on like an AstroTurf, and my shoes, they don't dig in really well. You don't get, it's very hard to get traction. If you can get the pace going on the thing, the momentum goes. Um, but it's like I really like the legs to do the work. Well, I did a couple sets, and I said, I just would like to put some real. I would like to put some real fucking weight on here. And I said, all right, you know what? I'll load it up, bring it up with 45 plates and 45-pound plates, and I'll start pushing it from up there. And that's what I did. And I worked it up to where I was doing, holy shit, I think I had 4 plates on each side. So that's 180 each side. I had 360 pounds, and I pushed that fucker all the way to the end, all the way to the, and that was at the very end of the workout. Even though, so I focused on like what I called heavy duty lifting and pushing. I did um, for that hour. So I kind of did my Mike Menser kind of thing. I liked it, but it takes some time. So it wasn't all failure. Um, so then coming back from the gym, this is real. Okay, coming back from the gym, uh, a couple blocks from my place, and there was this car. The door opened, and it was like this little Pomeranian. It was like a brown Pomeranian. It was on a leash. The door was open, and the dog was like kind of on the sidewalk. So whatever the woman was, like she was whatever talking to somebody in the car. She was getting ready to get out of the car. And it's funny. I'm walking down the sidewalk. You know, dog was like so close to me, and like came up to me. I didn't have a problem with this, a cute Pomeranian. And then the woman got out. So I was trying to play, a little with the dog, and the woman got out. I was like, oh, fuck. I mean, I didn't show the expression of I was blown away kind of thing. Um, she was definitely a um, she was definitely a qualifier. The way she was dressed and her body structure, it has a British accent kind of thing. And so she gets out. Nobody, we're Pomeranian, so she did respond. She had stuff in her hands, like, and there's like a condominium complex, it's like a gated thing, and it was like I couldn't get her to stop. She did say, I asked her, I go, are you a model? And she goes, yeah. And it was just like kind of, she just wouldn't stop. It was like she was being pushed. I mean, body, like what she was wearing, she had just like this little top on, showing off her tits. They were pretty nice. They're big, and she had a very big ass. She was wearing kind of, a little big for me, but I didn't care. She was good enough for me, kind of thing. And I knew what I was trying to like do everything I can without being desperate and needy. I was trying to engage the conversation at a very good pace to try to figure out, okay, hey, this woman is like, can I hang out with her for a couple hundred? I mean, like, is there any way, or give me, like, is there any way I can get in there somehow? I was trying to use non-desperation verbiage, conversation, anything. But she was just so focused on getting to where she had to go. And that car, whoever, the drive, they, I know they were like intimidated by my presence or something. They didn't get out, but it's like, do you blame me for trying? I mean, it was like, fuck. I mean, you saw like that woman, wow, she was definitely not your run of the mill, uh, 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 you know, women that just average. No, no. See it all the time, and when I see it, it's like that's what I like. I know what I like. I see what I like, and I try to move in on it, non-desperate, non-desperately. Um, but I definitely have to know that I tried. So no, no, she just wouldn't. It was like her pace, like there's like steps go up. Followed after her, it would have been like borderline stalking. Like it would have been, a little too much. I kind of like I really tried to give it all that I had in that brief minute or minute and a half, but she was like in tune to going where she had to go. I couldn't even get to play with the dog, kind of thing. I use that as leverage, anything I can to try to get what I want. Again, high currency like that has high value. It's I know I've said this a million and one times. I know it's tough. I know it's tough, but what could I have done? I could. You can only try. Now, it doesn't bother me as long as I try. Um, that's why I'm not too bothered right now. Like, it bothers me when I don't try. That drives me insane. So, I mean, you know, um, and it's like almost not even worth being alive if you're gonna put it in front of my face, and then the guys are gonna fucking kill them. You know what I mean. Not in metaphorically, verbally, um, because it's getting. Like they were first somehow. If you go back far enough, they had them moving in on their territory. And movies. I know movies like 300. I know it's a movie, but if you go back far enough, um, the superior wins. Like that's how I look at it. And in this world, in this society, it's basically superior is whoever has the most power. I tell you, but it's that's generally the way it is. So that brief minute I really, and this woman, just no rock Munis, no sympathy. Well, I didn't ask for sympathy or rock, sympathy with. It's like, damn, dude. I mean, I would have loved to have a little fun with that. That would have been fucking something. And you know, it's like, just what could you fucking do, man? Like, it's so fast. It's like a moving target kind of thing. And I know these guys, these PA guys or whatever, they all show you their videos of them trying to do pickup thing, but you know what? The women that they're talking to, none of those women go after, they get a lot of attention. Now there's some that are kind of like a little more homely looking, that are built to my specifications, that probably don't, they still probably get, but not like that one. That one that's the model one with the jeans. Back in the gym, I was pretty pumped up, and I had like this really nice green form fitting, you know, Adidas workout shirt that's like, I mean, I don't look like a fucking bum, like I'm, it's I look like a military universal soldier, when I'm pumped up, like, everything is like clearly defined, like I'm walking like I'm a fucking, top amateur bodybuilder or something like that, People, I mean, I'm not trying to boost my own ego. I'm just telling you, see, when I'm walking, people fucking look. I'm not saying everybody looks, but I am like, I am. I'm not saying I'm something to look at either. I mean, but the thing is, it's like it's kind of weird. Attention from everything you don't need or don't want or don't care for, and then like, and then I wish I could talk to for a second. Is on a fucking cutting a beeline. Just as fast as she. Why is this so unfair? Like, why is it like this? It's like this in West Hollywood. It always is fucking like that here. It's a combination of these fucking cream puffs and the world mentality of being in a hurry to go absolutely nowhere on a fucking available thing. I kind of look you up online. I tried fucking anything I could to try to pursue, but no dice, man. On that one. No fucking. She wasn't the end of the world. She was a qualifier, but she was good. But she wasn't the end of the world. The end of the world. I saw her. That was the one that was the end of the world. Was, I'll never forget that one. I was practicing my fighting skills in the park, and I saw her walk down the block with another chick, and I was already at the end of my workout. I said, I gotta see this, and I caught up to that, and I was like, fucking god damn it, man. Sorry, I know it was just, that was, I guess nobody's the end of the world, but that was damn near close. And I tried to start a conversation and brushed me off real quick, and I felt like if I would have harder, it would have been like stalking. It would have been, they didn't say get out of here kind of thing, but it was just, that woman is so used to getting her body like that. Oh my, I tried. I mean, I was pretty well, I was dressed really nice. I had like that similar, I had like, not a workout shirt on, t-shirt with like nice form-fitting jeans and shoe. I look good. To me, I don't think I'm a very good-looking guy, but I just, I look at it like that. If women go through all that to look like that, I want to be comfortable, and I think they were going to Catch, you know, that restaurant on Melrose. So when they shot me down, I pretended I was going into the library like a block away. And then I said, God damn it, it's once in a the woman, I never see something like that ever again. So I tried to find it. I ran around looking for it, and I couldn't find them. They were gone. They vanished, I never seen them again. Damn. Yeah. No, that woman. Oh my God. Yeah, she was. Jesus Christ. What a fucking rack I'm now. I mean, I'm never. It's like something you dream about. Like, you wish your ultimate dream would come true, and like there she is, visually, and they just don't give it to you. It's like, what worse pain can you imagine? What worse pain could you imagine? I mean, that's for me. Um, there is no. I mean, I remember like 3 weeks ago, this woman showed up in the piggy, and she was fucking supremely badass as well. And I did everything but approach because I saw that these two guys were on it. Like it was like I talked about her, and go back. What I like, so much attention, so much currency that it's like, eh, you put this false beliefs in your. I don't put false beliefs. It's just reality. It's reality. Those women goods that men want. It's a combination of factors. It's not just because they got big tits. It's a combination of their body structure compared to their in a beautiful face and just like a real nice, non kind of sleek, just a cool presentation all the way around. Like it's fucking just totally badass. And I have very good taste apparently because those women are always getting, they're always either with guys on them, girlfriends pulling them. Like they just have a lot of currency. I mean, that's it. I mean, I can summarize it that I'm not crying, I'm not bitching, I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you that women like that. It's um, when I was 25, one woman, but she's just not, very homely. She was very homely looking. Um, you know, she gave me a little bit of action. Um, uh, Great body too, but I never got, I didn't get laid. Never got that one. Ex girlfriend, she just, she's very arrogant and she doesn't qualify. So that's the end of that. And I'm trying to think, like, there's this one chick that I pay, used to be porn star, and her attitude just every time I've seen her, it goes down and downhill. And she's not like she used to. So there's like this one Latina chick that I see, um, and she qualifies to get something like that. Plus the hotel's 100, so it cost me $300 an hour, and it's definitely worth it because all the women that I meet legitimately that qualify will not give me a chance based on my life experience. So what do? You only have two choices if you're, I mean, I don't understand why this is not a topic. Why nobody, these pickup artists, they don't talk about it. They either say, "Oh, no fap, don't jack off," and go. So nobody really addresses this thing. What do you do if you're a normal man and you can't get the women? You're trying to meet women, you can't get what you want. You only have a couple choices: either pay to get something comparable temporarily, or yeah, watch porn or jack off. I mean, what are you going to do, right? So I don't understand. Like they don't talk about this. Like this is viable topic. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but it's because I'm just telling you from my experience, the women and she just wouldn't give me a fucking date. They just won't fucking give you. Like, they hold too much currency. They have too much fucking value. I mean, she kind of gave me an opening, but I just didn't like her attitude. Like, want to come, it's weird, very, very weird that I didn't pursue that one because, just the way she had a mother hen on her, and this one guy that threw curveballs at me, kind of. So, it was a very, it was like, well, you're supposed to befriend the group is the tactic, so is what they're said. I have a very, very hard time doing like you're pretending. And I'm, so combative, from what I've been through. Guys pushing me out of the way verbally or physically. So it's very hard to, put on this facade of, the facade of being the entertainer and not getting nothing. So, you have to understand when you've been through a lifetime of something that you're good at, and then to show that I'm different than every other guy. And the problem is it always backfires because women they're not used to somebody a little different, um, for whatever reason. You're different, and they're just not, they don't want something like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I can be is myself. Very hard to work on my attitude, which was very combative and negative. Um, I feel like I'm not like that anymore. Well, you're a magician. You try to put me in a play. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like fucking some dude trying to fucking magician because I was wearing a cool fedora. Like, what's your spiel? She goes to me, what's yours? Why is it all, you're putting me on the spot, just because you got some decent boobs, and an average kind of nice face. And it's like they make it seem like they hold all the cards, I mean, society's fault, going in there dancing my song, fucking woman wouldn't even go upstairs like to see what I do, you know. It's just hard, like it's like when you're in an environment where nobody's having a good time, and it's like it makes it that much harder. It makes it that much more difficult. You're I say this in the gym sometimes. I go like, you know, let's make this fun. Let's make it fun. Kind of makes it. That's what I look at the challenge. Though I'm going to war. So it's like I'm trying to have a fun war, um, driving forward. To keep persevering. Um, because everything I do is not easy. Like moving tonnage of weights around hard. Trying to get a woman's attention, like they're walking away, that's hard. Getting my doctorate degree, taking the classes, doing all the work, that's hard. But to me, it's like it's all what I'm just trying to think like what 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 isn't hard that's that's not doing, hard, putting on dense muscle when you're thin, when you got like this thin structure. You see my wrist, how thin? I mean, you saw my arm. I've been almost 200, on the cusp of 175 right now. And he's about my height, maybe a touch shorter, maybe. Talked about him, he's got some fucking eyes on him too. Eyes than me, but in pretty thick his chest, you know. But I think there's too much upper body as far as calisthenic type, pulling type movements, like that's how he has it really well developed up there. But you got to have, you know, a lump, good lump, bicep, which is it is commendable. But you want to be, for me, the way I look at it, that's why I need to be like two. When I hit 175, I'm really solid fit, like really shape and fit, for me. So what I like to do. That's what I want. I like my fucking clothes. I don't like. I mean, I don't mind shit that's tight, but like small. You know, I mean, the compression. I don't like. I don't mind shirts. Yeah, if they're standard regular fit jeans, but I want the jeans to be, no baggy, but like if you got no legs or anything like that. I don't like that. I wear polo, something. I have nicer ones. This is just my wear around. I wear this every fucking time. I wear around the house thing, but I've got nicer ones that, you know, I like them to be full. Like fucking a solid body under there, not a fucking, skinny. I mean, for me, even at 150, it's not. It's not. For me, it's like it's lean. It's okay. But when you're talking the difference between 150 and 175, and then 200, I mean, you're talking fucking Jesus. I mean, that's a lot, and I don't use that word a lot very often because it takes a lot. It takes a fucking lot. Um, because in my years, I have seen it all. I've seen not, so in my lifetime, I've seen what's out there. So it takes a lot to impress me. So I'm not impressed by myself in the slightest at all. Like I ask a lot, of myself, and it's like I want to have all these things out of life. The women thing eats at me the most. It eats at me the most because I just natural is so incredibly difficult. Like if you had like tensions or something like that was really something dangerous or not, that I would get it. I would understand that. But I don't. I believe like I'm a normal guy with just would love to have fun with beautiful women or a relationship too. Like I'm not closed minded to anything. Um, I'm just very, very surprised that these women are so standoffish. They're not willing to give something up to attitude and confidence. I wasn't getting any action before COVID, and I sure as hell am not getting anything right now during COVID, except for that one. And thank God for her because really makes life worth living. And I tell her that, as I pay her, it's her. She could be charging a lot more, probably where I could afford to pay. Um, she's that good. She has the goods. She's one of those stalking her that was in the guys in real estate. I mean, he found out her phone number or something. I was like, Jesus. I mean, there's dudes out there that got fucking money. That see they're gonna wind up getting. Not that guy particularly, but you see those women. that have currency like that, they get what they get what they want. There's a lot of dudes that have money that will pay that they just because those women they're I don't care what their price is. I don't care because I could just pay it. Like you understand, it's like you only get one I would love to be with, but she wants 1,500 an hour, and it's just that's just too much for me. It's too much for me, but it's like for a lot of dudes that have money, that it's doable. Like it's like all right, well I have to see it. I have to I have to do this other chick that was in Backpage. She wanted like $1,000 an hour, and I was like, fuck, like I would love to meet this woman. So I tried the same tactic of where I could offer like 500 for the half, and she said no. She said an hour in the 90s. She looked like a Raquel Welch. She was really nice, what I like. There's a, you know, I forgot how I got her phone number, and and this is like, maybe 15, 20 years ago. And she was like, well, you got to have at least like 300 for me. And back then, a lot of money for me. I didn't, I couldn't afford it. And it never happened. And she changed her number. She was gone. I think she owners nation of all the factors that have to come in. You got and I know I'm talking about like the ones it's difficult. It's like why can't you just kill a woman like that? Well, I'm giving you the reasons why. I'm telling you because the reasons why is that when I like coming home from the gym and you see one like that, they were trying to get it's incredibly hard. So, what's your alternative? What's your alternative? You don't really have any. I go out dancing all the time, and there no women qualified there tonight. They weren't even close. Uh, it's even the DJ what he was doing, and he gets on, he goes, well, no, no aggressive men here. No, we don't. The DJ gets on the microphone, man, there are no aggressive men here. Like, what are you babysitting here? What's your fucking, it's not your place to say anything. Just try to concentrate and play the goddamn music, which apparently you don't know how to do very well. I mean, I don't want a guy that sucks. Very oddball, his mixes music. He just doesn't know. He doesn't have a flow. He never plays any funk music. Nothing. No disco. Nothing that, he just doesn't fucking know. He has a very bad rotation. Uh, but I look at it like this: I dance for free, I guess. So if I do Saturday night, you only get so much time. Friday night, it's and able to weasel my way in, with the COVID nonsense. So you know, you only get so much time in life anyway. So you don't try, you definitely don't know. So I'm gonna get back to schoolwork. I guess try to get a little. I hope that you can from my what I have to say. I hope it helps anybody out there. Like, if anything, I don't expect you to relate perfectly to me because you didn't live my life. Um, I heard like Pagliacci was a really interesting thing, but I'm not Pagliacci. Um, the guy that really likes to push himself, like challenge himself while he's here. Like I am well aware of the value of time. When I was younger, I didn't understand that. I'm well aware of time. For me, I want to get my doctorate degree before I turn 50, so I don't waste any more time in school. Like I want to have that thing done and be done with school. Or waste. I don't want to focus on that anymore. So I'll be a fucking doctor at least. The bodybuilding and fitness, I push myself as hard as I can because I can't get yesterday back. So I might as well grind myself in the ground at least if I have to, like knowing I tried as hard as I could. That And I guess the business or finances thing, I just really don't know, until something kind of opportunity wise. I'm not really, I know I'm not doing things that are destructive. That was the thing. Like, you got to understand, dude, I gambled my whole life. Ever since I was fucking 6 years old, 7 years old, I was pitching pennies. I was whatever up until like 4 months ago. Now I've been able to, like, I remember record, not like a year, but I lived in the gym, and I'm not doing that this time. I'm trying to build a life. The gym is great, but it shouldn't be your whole life. Um, Cryptocurrency, I already any of that shit, and I'm gonna let it die there. It went up. It's like up. I think I got like 600 or 800 bucks. I don't care if the thing goes to a penny. I got enough to get my condo paid off, everything. Um, it would be a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous thing if Shiba Inu ever makes a penny. Um, and I'm not going to touch it. I don't care. It's like I just forget. I look at the price of Shiba Inu for a minute and I say, okay, forget it. That's it. So no futures, no casino, no crypto, no nothing. And you know, I plan on just keeping it that way. Gambled my whole fucking life. I ran around and hustled collectibles so I could finance my gambling, and I don't do that anymore. So in my mind, the only reason that my money goes to like good food and good supplements, and I have enough money for that. So, I don't need really, I know I got collectors coming after me, but you know what? Let them come. I ain't getting nothing. Um, and I don't care. They put a judgment. I don't really care about any of this. You know. Point is just keep grinding away, man. Keep fucking grinding away and stay away from whores. That beer of choice. That was my favorite fucking beer, and I haven't drank any beer for almost 3 years now, and it's fine. I don't need it. I'm too, too obsessive compulsive with it. And I told the security lady, I said, I'd be drinking here. If I was drinking, I'd be here all day, night of drinking. I wouldn't be bodybuilding, be focusing on anything. So nowhere. So I'd rather just a body that might. It's a positive addiction. At least it's fucking, something that you could be like a body of work. I'd rather be a book. I mean, if I had a choice. So there you go. That's that. And that's what I try to do is give back. Talk about myself and hopefully, help somebody.